Hi everyone, this is Kareem from the Kareem Report. This is my Midtown Manhattan and Brooklyn stationery haul from when I was in New York City for Stationery Fest. I went with Amalia, my mother-in-law. So we went to Goods for the Study in the East Village, as well as East Village Postage and Casey's Stamps in Midtown Manhattan, and then we went over to the Brooklyn side and we went to Yoseka, both their main shop as well as Yoseka Land. We also went to Truly Yours Brooklyn, and we went to Loaf on Paper. We did stop at Analog Stationers. I didn't grab anything, but Amalia did, and I think that's everywhere that we stopped. And oh, we went to MUJI. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of go in chronological orders and give you my honest opinions of the places that we stopped at. And I'll be very transparent that I really like the Brooklyn side. We did not do Nico Neko, even though they do have an East Village location, because we wanted to go to Loaf on Paper for the cafe. It's hot in July, end of July, August in New York City, so stopping by to get a beverage and getting to sit for a couple minutes and using a restroom is was more up our alley. And since they have two locations, we wanted to get to the Brooklyn side a little bit quicker before Yoseka closed. We ideally were trying to get the Yoseka exclusive from Greenpoint and Yoseka Land. Unfortunately, by the time we got there on Friday afternoon, they were completely sold out of all of the inks. They did tell us to stop at Stationery Fest on Saturday, which is our plan, but sadly they were also sold out by the time we got there in the morning. I did talk to Daisy and a couple of people that worked at Yoseka, and they did tell us that they are planning to hopefully do a restock of their ink that was exclusive for Stationery Fest, because to no fault of their own, they sadly didn't order enough. And that might be just because they had a different location this year and they were able to open it up to more people. So maybe next time they'll have better numbers in terms of inks. But that was one thing, that the reason why we went to Yoseka Land was specifically for the inks. But we were going to go there anyway. But the big driving point for me, maybe not Amalia, was for the ink. So in order, we did go down by train to New York City. So we landed in Midtown through Penn Station. So we first went and grabbed some lunch, and then we went to Goods for the Study. I didn't grab anything at all. We kind of just stopped by. It was a pretty small shop, very, very nice, but didn't see anything that really interested us or kind of worth picking up. And then we moved over to East Village Postage, where I did grab 3 of these cards. These are like vintage style cards. I grabbed 3, Amalia took 1, just because there is a $5 limit to buying these, and I misread. I thought the postcard was $5, and I thought that was a little expensive, but when she was like, no, it's actually 2, so I did end up getting 3 so that I could use a card, because I didn't carry cash. I'm very much cashless kind of person, so whatever I could do not to use cash, I try to. So Amalia did carry cash, or she just paid for it, so which was very kind of her. So these are the only things we did grab from there. It's a very small shop, but it is kind of worth the things that they have. It was really nicely curated. And then we went over to Casey's Stamps. Amalia was looking for a swan stamp that she was hoping that she could do. And then I will say, one of the biggest things that I should have looked into or maybe thought about was they really do have some not safe for work, or like I would say R-rated stamps that I wasn't aware of. And it was a little uncomfortable looking at those with my mother-in-law, or just in general. I was not expecting them to be just very much at eye level at different points of the store. It's a very, very small shop. I would say probably the size of someone's dorm room, but really great stamp. If you're looking to do a custom stamp, I really recommend it. We didn't find anything we liked, and then it's really very hot, and we decided to move over. I don't know if it's because so many people were in town for Stationery Fest that maybe they were really out of a lot of stamps, and all they had were their more raunchy stamps. But then we moved over to the train to go to Loaf on Paper, which is also a part of Nico Neko. So it's Loaf on Paper, Nico Neko, whatever the end of this is a sticker for their their original first location, and then they're actually celebrating their first anniversary at the new location in Brooklyn. And they gave you, it comes with a little sticker, which is really, really nice. I did grab some extra postcards because I do have some pen pals that live in Atlanta as well as in Charleston, South Carolina. And I did meet someone that's fairly close to me in Syracuse because I'm from Rochester. And so maybe I'll send this to AJ, but I just like to have some interesting stamps for my interesting postcards, not stamps, postcards to mail out. I liked most of these. This one is just, I wish they kind of went to the margins. I don't think this is enough writing space. I don't write very small, and I feel like there's just a lot of empty space, but I didn't design this back, and it is what it is. But that's just my current issue with this, is just the overall layout doesn't feel like what I was hoping to use for, but neither here nor there. I did also pick up these daily stickers. This is a little bit more stationary. This is more like at home. I can use most of these. I'm not a big beer person, so I might use this for my junk journal for Europe. I did have a Guinness when I was there, just a sip. But that's the only use I have for this. But otherwise, this is pretty much like, I like to play Animal Crossing with my husband Zach, and really excited to do that. And then obviously big fountain pen stationery person, and I just like these little like almost ice skating little people. I'm really interested in using them. I don't know, this looks really, really fun. And what else did I grab at Loaf on Paper? I also grabbed these. I think I grabbed them in my hand, and this is kind of an ongoing trait because I did the same thing when I was at Yoseka Land. I just kind of grabbed a couple things, and I started talking to Amalia about different things I was grabbing, and then just like didn't let it go. I don't tend to use a lot of yellow, but I do use a lot of beige, so I think this would be kind of cute. I like these little peoples and little things that you can have like in the corner, or like an accented little drawing. So I'm really excited to use these. They're like nice little cute yellow themed. And so I will say, because it was Stationery Fest and Stationery Day was the same weekend, there are a lot of things that were slowly selling out, or like this was the last one they had. And I will say, as I'm talking about Stationery Day, I was able to grab the Brooklyn stationery crawl paper. I have two because on the first day we did a bunch of different stops, and then we were supposed to go to the last two after Stationery Fest. We only managed to get to one, but I also left mine behind because I didn't want to carry a lot of things to Stationery Fest. I never wanted to go to Measure Twice to begin with, but because it feels a little bit less stationary, more like home goods with some stationery on the side. But by the time we got to Analogs after Stationery Fest, Amalia and I were just like really stationaried out, so we didn't end up doing Measure Twice. But I'm going to cut this out and like paste it here and just kind of make it look nice. So I'm pretty excited to just kind of fix this a little bit. But I have two of these, and so that's exciting. And then after we did Loaf on Paper, sorry, the little sticker kind of fell off. We went to MUJI. Oh, wait, I did grab these two as well. I call these my little French girls. They're very, very cute. Pet tape that I grabbed. I have no idea, not normally the type of girls that I normally put in my junk journal, but they just looked really cool. And then I'm really interested in this washi tape. From what I can tell from like inside this plastic, they kind of have like almost a fabric texture and a little bit of gold embossing. It's supposed to be like a stationery desk, so you can see like the scissors, you can see the ink, and you can also see just like different pieces of like someone's desk. So I'm kind of excited, but if I kind of feels like this stationery fabric, this washi tape fabric that I grabbed when I was in Japan. So who knows? Maybe I'm just seeing something from like just the embossing with the gold, and it's leaving a little bit of a texture on the washi. Who knows? But then we went to MUJI. If you've never been to MUJI, I like to call it like beige minimalist. So a lot of the things that they have in their shop is just like solid colors, very non-branded things. So I don't have these colors of washi tapes. I my lipstick that I wear often is this color, so kind of excited to use this. And it's very inexpensive. And then I grabbed a lot of YouTubers and stationery people have these MUJI pens. Amalia and I have never used them before, so we're interested. I grabbed the black and brown in a 0.5. I think she grabbed blacks in a 0.3. So we're both going to test these out. I'm kind of excited. And again, very inexpensive. I also grabbed these kind of, I don't know what to call these. They're supposed to be like little notebooks, but they're meant to be, you know, this is an A6 and you can just jot a quick thought down. Okay. When it comes to stationery, journaling and things like that, I don't like to make a messy journal, but like this is 100 yen, which translates to like $1. And so I don't mind writing like a quick note of what I want to do, what happened today, quick bullet points, so that way I can transcribe that to my nicer journal. So that's my plan for this. And then I grabbed this A5. I love A5. My mother, Amalia, loves Travelers. I'm not a Travelers girly. I think a B size is just not it's just too, I just can't. I'm an A5, A4, I'm an A girly. So I have a journal for work for just like to-dos and just like meeting notes. That's an A5 that we get from, well, what is it called? We just get it from this like Staples brand. And then it's $11. I don't think our team shouldn't be spending $11 on the fact that I want a notebook that's really, really nice in an A5 size. So this is $2. So I'm gonna see if I like it. It's better paper. You will never see me use a composition notebook or like a cheap 75-cent Walmart notebook. So I really care about the paper. So I'm gonna see how this one works, and maybe I can find a cheap alternative for like my office notes. So pick this up also at MUJI. And then, okay, what else did I grab? Oh, I forgot, at Loaf on Paper, I did grab the sample ink. I had a friend when I worked at Mockingbird Papery in Ithaca pick up a Ferris wheel, like fairy ink that's very similar to this color. And I, to the life of me, cannot remember what the ink is called, but it looks like this color. So I'm hoping that maybe it's this similar style. I know it's not Ferris wheel, but I'm just trying to find something that's close enough because it's been haunting my dreams. So that's my plan, trying to replace it. So it's called Mirage, and they had the sample ink. I wasn't trying to spend a lot of money on ink this weekend. So I will say I got this one and this sample ink from Yoseka. So I was trying to keep my ink samples very low, but I did end up splurging and getting this one while I was at Yoseka Land. Oh no, this was at Yoseka, the main store, because I've been thinking about this and it was the last bottle, and this is just something I was interested in. So those are the only 3 inks that I grabbed. But on our way home on Friday, we did stop by Yours Truly Brooklyn. The person that was working there that day was very, very sweet. They had gone to Stationery Fest the day on Thursday. So they just gave us the lowdown, and they were just honestly probably like one of the sweetest people I've ever met. I don't know if it was just because that's just their work and they were trying to be very hospitable, but very, very kind gentlemen. And I didn't realize I grabbed this. I had every intention to write. They kind of have this little card in the front where like, what's bringing you joy, and they kind of put it on their window, and I never filled it out, and I'm really, really sad about it. But I did grab the Yours Truly Brooklyn to add to my junk journal, a Metro card. I did get a lot of Metro card stuff from Stationery Fest, so this was probably a dumb buy, but you can never have enough Metro cards. I go to New York pretty often, to New York City. And then Libra Baby, I grabbed 3 of these. I gave one to Amalia because she's also a Libra Baby. I'm a Libra Baby, and Rebecca, who was hosting us, is also a Libra, and so is her partner. So that's really great. I don't like pink very much, so I wish this was a different color, but neither here nor there. So this is very nice. Again, all of this was from Yours Truly Brooklyn. Very, very, very kind and great shop to stop by. And then we are going to move over to what I picked up at Yoseka. I had a really great time we stopped at Yoseka Land first. So, okay. What ended up happening is I walked in to Yoseka Land. There was a decent amount of people chatting in the front, and it was a bit overwhelming. They had taken a few things from their across the street over to Yoseka Land. Yoseka Land is where they normally have their workshops. So they had their stickers and washi tapes in that location. and it was a bit overwhelming to kind of go through the sticker sheets. I picked these two things up when I first walked in, and I don't think I ever put them down because Amalia and I were talking to the staff, asking questions, particularly about their ink, and I just never really double checked my order before checking out. These are supposed to be nail art, but you can also put them on little things, so I might put them on some of my electronics to kind of, I have a few AirPods that are, they're very iterations. I tend to break AirPods very frequently, so maybe use these to kind of decorate and distinguish them. And then normally don't like pink, as I mentioned with the like Libra baby. But this kind of reminds me of when I was in France, this kind of like vibe. So I'm going to use this in my Europe junk journal. So that's my plan, but I had, to be honest, should not have purchased this, but it's neither here nor there. I also picked up these little dudes. Again, don't know what happened. I just grabbed them, thought they were cute, and just didn't set them down. And then we moved, and then I grabbed all these washies. There was a 6 washi that was similar pet tape that had like some daisies. I don't know where I did with it. I think it rolled around. I gave some to Amalia as a washi sample because she loves daisies, and then I don't know where it is. I'll find it eventually when I re-unpack. So I grabbed a bunch of these. First of all, I love vertical washi tapes right now because I don't have that many. So that's kind of why I picked these 3 that kind of, in a way that you can kind of do a vertical. And then this one just kind of has this cafe library vibe. So very interested. I love the little doodles on this. So they're kind of like a little blobby, they're little blobby dudes. And I'm kind of digging it. So normally I don't like a lot of orange. Sorry for the emergency. I don't know if you guys can actually hear the fire department going by. But otherwise, I got a decent amount of washi tapes. I just kind of held them in my hand. Should have probably set some of these down, probably, but I didn't. And they're part of my stash now. They're married to me. So, and then we crossed the street to Yoseka. We grabbed the nice postcard. We did get the green point pin that is exclusive for Stationery Fest. So they had the Industry City pin at Stationery Fest, and then they had green point at their main green point location at Yoseka. I also grabbed this. It was an impulse buy. This is a little pouch that was at the register, and I filled it up with all these little free stickers that they were giving out at Yoseka Land. So just so they keep them in one spot. Should I have gotten this? Probably not, but super cute. Very excited. I did also grab this flag from Yoseka Land. They had a flag that was exclusive for the Stationery Fest that was like that pale blue color, but unfortunately by the time we went on Saturday, I didn't find any, so neither here nor there. If maybe I'll ask AJ if they managed to grab one and they don't want it. But we'll see. But I saw it in a couple videos. They might have just maybe they ran out. I picked up this Mexican hen ink. It's like a purplish color. I just picked it up because it's called Mexican hens. It doesn't need to make much sense. So then I grabbed a Yoseka pin for all of these pins. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put all of them, but it's gonna go somewhere. And then what else? Oh, yes. So I grabbed these 36 views of Mount Fuji on a fine breezy day. I really like this color. I saw someone using it. I had told myself that I was really interested in trying this brand. I don't have any inks from this brand. And Amalia had reminded me that I was interested, and I looked over and I said, I'm only gonna buy it if they have the Mount Fuji ink. And the universe said, this is the last bottle. So I splurged, and I'm pretty excited for this ink. I'm gonna probably put this in one of the new fountain pens that I just picked up from an antique shop. So very excited for that. And I think that's everything from Yoseka. Afterwards, we did decide to go to Analog Stationers. I didn't buy anything. Amalia did. She got this really nice leather wallet that she found on one of the shelves over here. Very, very exciting. And then I grabbed a sticker. I grabbed 2 postcards. One of them was for Amalia, but I guess with her purchase, they gave her one too. But the best thing that they gave out, surprisingly, was outside there was they had a table where they were doing like tattoos, but they gave out this bag, this little tote bag for free for anybody that stopped by for stationery day. And it's one of those bags that the totes that have like this, like almost like it gives a little bit more body. I'm really excited for this. It's super cool to get to for free because normally free tote bags don't have much structure. I did also get at Yoseka Land the Stationery Fest poster, which is good because I don't think I saw them giving it out, or at least I didn't see it while I was at Stationery Fest. Oh, I forgot that yours truly, Brooklyn, for Stationery Day was giving out free pencils. I'm probably gonna put it, I have a bowl, correction, I have like a pencil pen holder where I put things that have like business branding and they're decent in my office. So probably gonna put that there. I'm not a big pencil person and I have plenty of pencils to use from, so I'm just gonna put that there. I'm not planning on using this. So that's overall my haul. I think right now this is my favorite purchase from my non-Stationery Fest crawl. Everything else I'm really just excited to use, but this one overall, it was a pleasant surprise to like run into it, because as we all know, when you're in stationery, you kind of have to give yourself limits and a budget, but also just like, I will only get it if blank scenario. So the universe was like, you definitely need this ink in your life. So very excited to use this. I'm very big. I really enjoyed my time in Japan. And when I was near Mount Fuji, we were in this little town, and it was really, really nice. I have very fond memories of being near Mount Fuji, so this ink has like a very special place in my heart. I do wish that the bottle had this design. It's only on the box. I was gonna keep the box anyway, but I kind of disappointed that the bottle inside doesn't have the same design. It just kind of has like, just tells you what the ink is, but neither here nor there. So that's my haul. I'm very, very excited. If you didn't get a chance yet, I do recommend watching my very long video for my Stationery Fest haul. I also have some videos on my channel from orders that I've made for the Coffee Monster Co. and other things. I will say, if you're going through my videos, just be warned, I am a doctoral student, so sometimes not sometimes, lately I've been using my channel to post some of my homework assignments that I have to post for discussions or for grading, just so you guys are aware as you're kind of going like, what is this mishposh of things? So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to put in the comments, in the description below, all the places I stopped by, and I highly recommend. Brooklyn definitely surprised me. I was very, very excited. And I do have some places in Manhattan, in lower Manhattan, that I will be checking out next time I'm in town, such as like the Fountain Pen Hospital. If you have any recommendations, please put them in the comments below. I'm happy to entertain any places. And then I'm also really looking forward to going to Chicago. Amalia and I are planning to go to Toronto in the fall for the Toronto Pen Show, as well as Scriptus. So you'll see another Scriptus haul of those that watch. There is a video from last year or like 2 years ago when we went to Scriptus. So with that, have a great night, guys, and see you in the next video.